Hey guys, welcome back. I know you think I missed some cards on that reserve list, but don't worry, we're going to talk about some more of them today. It's coming up next. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to the channel, well guess what? I have a secret for you. I know how to get you on the naughty list. Don't tell anyone. All you gotta do to get on the naughty list here, all you gotta do, buy some expensive cardboard. Hold on to it for 20 years, and you will be on people's naughty list. That's all you have to do nowadays. We are having a reserve list conversation, and if you are new to the channel and somehow found me out there in YouTube land, make sure you smash that subscribe button if you enjoyed the content today, because it's free to do. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps the channel grow and get more recognized faster, and we love having more people to talk about and more opinions here on the channel. All right, guys, we are talking reserve list. Let's jump right into it. There are cards that I have not been covering. I understand with the enormity that is the reserve list, it's a massive undertaking to try to cover every card. So I try to pick cards I think people are buying or talking about. That's why I ask you guys to see which cards you're into right now so I can review those cards. And we have a couple of new ones on the list today. We're going to add to our little watch list, and we're going to see how they're doing. And it's quite interesting. All right, guys, we're going to start things off with Three Wishes. Three Wishes is from Visions. It's excellent. Great card. It wasn't really used a lot, though. When I looked out there, I go, this card was pretty cheap for a long time. It's only during this spike that it's really seen itself been bought out. I myself have bought a copy of this, okay? And yes, I paid the higher price of like the $18 mark. I didn't buy it when it was like $3. Three Wishes is a blue Visions card. It's 2 blue, 1 other, and lets you take the top 3 cards off your library, put them in a separate pile, play them to the beginning of your next upkeep. That's awesome. Think about it. You can dredge. You can have cards go to your graveyard and get them back. Awesome. You can take that thing and cast out 0 casting cost cards, or just put it aside so you can get cards out of the way. There's amazing effects with this card, and I didn't realize for three, that's a pretty square deal, right? And no real downside other than it goes to your graveyard, but there's so many ways of going back in the graveyard. It's a decent card. I would pick up a copy if you can, if you think you're going to need it for a deck. If not, let it go to the wayside. There are bigger and badder cards to get out there, but it's still a very decent up-and-coming card that I will be tracking for you guys. Now, our next card. Okay, this is kind of a biggie. I do own a couple of copies of Talon Academy. I always loved the artwork. I thought it was very iconic, and before its banning, I was using it in multiple decks, so I needed a couple of copies. But I think I paid $14.50 for each of my copies. And I think the last copy I bought was like about $40. Look at the price now. Even though it's banned in basically everything but vintage, look at this card and you'll see it's an amazing, powerful card. And if it wasn't banned and you could use it in Commander, it would be in so many Commander decks. And this card would be, you know, Gaia's Cradle level. This would be like a $1,500 card. It's only being suppressed by the fact it's banned and can't really be played in a lot of decks right now. If they unban this card or do something later on, you're going to wish you had a copy. Okay, you really will. But at this price level, some people are thinking dual land, you know, when you get to that $300 mark. But it's buying and selling at $300. Everywhere locally around here is completely sold out. And I couldn't find any online copies for sale anywhere locally in my entire area of Toronto and the surrounding region. Which means I've checked 40 stores plus, and there's nothing out there. Those who have the card are keeping it. They're not putting it up for sale, okay? Stores have this on their buy list, and the buy lists are rising on this card. It's awesome. That's all you can say about it. Yes, I will continue to watch it now. And let's hope people who listen get it before it gets too high. Because it's gonna go up. Now, let's hit up Metalworker. Metalworker is very interesting. I myself do not own a copy of this. I looked and found the cheapest copy I could find. And I put it up there for you. Because that cheapest copy at $47, you'll see it's selling at $47 for the World Championship Edition. Other copies around that $160 to $180 mark. As a creature card who's not being reprinted and pretty iconic artwork, he is affordable at this time. He's not insurmountable. You could get a copy of this if you really had to, but he is going to creep up. He's not going to creep up like some of the other cards on the list, but he's going to see that slow appreciation as people buy him out and push him higher. And if you needed him for a deck later to mix in with artifacts, I'd recommend getting him now. The best time to buy is now, right? FOMO, guys. That fear of missing out, it's still rampant in a lot of people's mind. And if you have the funds to buy these cards, get it now while you can. If you can't get it now, keep it on your list and see if you can get a deal or a sale or trade. Because that, I mean, I understand. as an expensive type of card you want to get, it's still hard to get some of these cards, guys. And I realize the price levels we're talking about are not for everyone. I will have a video, I believe it's tomorrow, about some other reserve list cards that are a little bit cheaper to afford to add to your collections if you wanted to. And of course, my patrons, I will hit that up with you guys earlier. You'll get the list later today. All right, our next one up here is our meme for the channel when we say, hold the line. All right, guys. Somali Excavations was the one we kind of joked on the channel we should buy out when this thing first started. And it was like a $7, $8 card. It's hitting as high as like 20-something a card now for near mint copies. This card is getting pricey. Okay, now it always was a decent card. It was on my early hit list about 2 months ago when I told people to buy it for that $5 to $8 mark. I said, look, it's underrated. It's going to go up. And sure enough, I guess that's self-fulfilling prophecy we talked about on Rudy's channel, Alpha Investments. When I say something, if even 1% listened to me and bought the card, yeah, it caused it to rise. I understand. But it was going to rise no matter what. Other channels were picking up on this and telling you to buy it. I just told you earlier on this channel to buy it. That's all. I probably saved some people a few bucks. So it's going to continue to rise up now. I can't really find any English copies of any decent condition. So it's kind of already slim pickings out there. But I'm waiting to see in the next 60 days if we see a restock on this card. Because there's got to be more copies and alliances than what I'm thinking. But maybe not. Maybe people just didn't keep this card around and it ended up in a lot of bulk bins. We'll find out. It's very interesting. All right, guys. I know we're hitting up the Mox. We are hitting up Power, man. Now, for Mox Amber being Power 9, this card is a very expensive card already. But what I want to tell you guys is, with the Moxes, with Power 9 cards, they are the most expensive cards, but they do take time to move up to the next level. What's happening right now is all of our cards from these mid and low level tiers, some of what you see in the background here, they are moving up. When those cards move up, Moxes don't react the same way. So although Moxes are starting to climb now a little bit, if you had Talon Academy and you bought it for like 50, 60 bucks, even $100 3 months ago, and you had 5 copies, it's worth 300 bucks now. You see what I mean? The Mox hasn't appreciated to the same level of value. You could trade all those in and get a Mox. It's kind of weird to think about for people who bought the Unfulfilled Desires for like $2, $3 and it's a $55 card now. If you bought 50 copies, you are buying a Mox with that. You can just trade it and get a Mox. That's how it is looking, right? It's kind of crazy to think. So Moxes are going to go up. Power is going to shift up in the next 30 to 60 days and go a little bit higher. So if you needed it, look at it. But you can see the sales. Collector editions are $1,600, guys. That's a collector edition. When you look back now and you say, hey, look at a unlimited, like moderately played, and it's like $4 grand, and better copies than that, light played near mints, are going for $6,000, $7,000. And yeah, we're not talking betas that are like 12,000. They're going to hit there very soon. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, guys, it's going to happen. The cards will shift up. If you needed one and you have cards to trade in to get one, I recommend doing it. Because it's going to take longer to go up. But when it goes up, they do not come back down, right? They're not shifting down in price. And our last card to talk about today is going to be Mox Diamond. Now, Mox Diamond, again, is another card I don't own a copy of. And I'm MTG Mox Man. I'm going to rectify that. I'm going to find a way to get one of these bad boys in my collection. So, my problem with Mox Diamond is I don't have one. It is going to go up. This card is going to be $1,000. I checked the sales, the listings locally, internationally, different eBay websites. Every trajectory shows this card climbing. If it continues to climb, and it's a decent card, there's lots of reasons why you want to have one. It is going to hit the $1,000 mark, and there's not much we can do about it, except warn you when it's at 650 that I'm telling you I know it's going to go to 1,000 sooner than later. So keep an eye on it. Now, I did not also put Sliver Queen on this list today, but Sliver Queen is going to go to 500 bucks. The beat-up copies are like 180 to 200. Good copies are like 250 to 300. It's going to keep climbing. People love slivers. With time-shifted cards coming out, you might see slivers coming back. Modern Horizons 2, you might see slivers coming out. There's only so many Sliver Queens to go around. When Mox Diamond Sliver Queen came in Stronghold, guys, it's not a big printing. It was a time when Magic was not huge, so the print runs were much smaller back then. They're not giving us actual numbers, but they just weren't that big. Magic was kind of in a lull a little bit at that time, right? So when you see that and you go, reason it out, guys, there's not as many as you think. There's not that many Sliver Queens to go around. There's not that many Mox Diamonds to go around in the long run. So if you need one, this is the time to buy. So thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. I hope you found the video informative today. Any questions, comments, concerns, always hit it in the email below. And don't forget to subscribe. This is MTG Moxman. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day today, guys.
What, you guys are still here? You're still hanging out here at the end credits? What are you guys still doing here? This is where I give a shout out to patrons. Why are you listening to me? I don't know. Shop smart, shop S smart.